Welcome. Thank you for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to lead you through yoga with props. We will practice together for 45 minutes today. So, just a reminder as we start today to listen to your body. If any of the stretches are not working for you, please skip them, come and out and modify. Things that you will want for your practice today is it'll be nice to have a yoga mat. We are going to be using a chair today. So if you want to grab a chair, that would be great. I really love using a folding chair because we can press the chair away. The front legs of the chair can lift up in some of the stretches, and it can just be so beneficial to our body for building more flexibility and more mobility. And we can also have our blanket. If you like your yoga blocks, those are great as well. Might be nice to have some hand weights. I have some 5-pound hand weights here and also a yoga strap. So I'd love to use a strap today. And, if you don't have a strap, you can definitely do the stretches without it. But if you can grab a tie that goes around a robe or that goes around your neck or something like that, that can be a really nice way to kind of find a strap if you don't have a yoga strap. So in our class today, we are going to be working with our props. So yoga with props is a wonderful practice of practicing yoga. And then we weave our props in there to just give us a different stretch, maybe a little bit of a better stretch to work different muscles, different transitions and things like that. So it's very beneficial for increasing flexibility and building strength, and really just kind of a fun way to do yoga a little differently. So let's get started with our yoga strap, and we're going to come down onto our backs as we start. And as you come down onto your back, we're just going to be laying down here. The legs can extend along the mat if you'd like. Option to bend the knees, plant your feet. And we are just going to give ourselves some time here just to close the eyes and to take a couple of deep full breaths in and out. So we'll do our centering here. Try to relax the eyebrows. Try to relax the jaw. Try to let go of tension through the back of the head and the back of the neck. Relax your shoulders, arms, and hands. Relax the upper, mid, and low back. Relax your legs and relax your feet of tension. Let yourself connect with your breath and gently observe the rise and the fall of the breath. Lengthening on your inhale, lengthening on your exhale. And then maybe encouraging your exhale to be a little bit longer than the inhale. Set an intention for your practice, and your intention could be anything. It might be that you want to relax a bit. It might be that you're holding tension in a particular area and you want to let that go. So there's really no right and no wrong intention. Let's start here with a full body stretch. So taking the hands up and overhead. Maybe point your toes or flex your feet. Allow for your body to be as active as possible here. Knees come to the chest, arms, hands around knees or shins, and gently rock to the right and to the left. Now, as you come into stillness here, let's grab onto that yoga strap. Begin to loop the strap around the ball of your right foot. Extend your right foot right and up to the sky. You can decide in your own body what feels right for you. So maybe have your left knee bent, your foot is planted. You may want to have your leg relaxed along the mat. And let's begin to take some time here to circle that leg. So we're going to find some movement into our hip joint. Maybe find large circles, maybe find smaller circles. Begin to circle in the other direction. So I'll just reverse that movement. And then as you're circling, just notice if it feels more natural to circle this way. It might feel a little unnatural to circle this way. Coming into stillness, hands walk up the strap. Let's encourage that right leg into the body a little bit. Begin to press out through the heel and the back of the knee. Let your leg be active, engaged, and energized. Let's take our right foot to the right. So that will bring us into a nice inner leg stretch. Now you may feel that your left hip wants to roll up and rise up. So let's try to press that left hip down. Allow for this evenness in the low back and evenness in the hips. Come back on up to center. Let's realign here. Right foot to the left. So we'll try for a twist. So left leg can straighten if that was bent. That might make it a little easier. And we'll take our right foot to the left. So it's going to bring us into a nice IT band stretch. This one is really good for getting into the waist and into the side of the body. Into that IT band, the iliotibial band. Always so good to give that one a good stretch. Let's put ourselves back to center. We will realign here. Right leg right on up to the sky. Left foot meets your right foot. Change your foot up in that strap. And then right leg relaxes down when you're ready. Find your circle. So imagine if you could draw circles on the ceiling with your heel. So you want to find these nice large circles, maybe exaggerate that movement. If it's possible, try to have your leg as straight as you can have it. Try to press out through the back of your knee. Try to press out through your heel. Reverse, let's flow in the other direction. And then we'll find stillness. Let's take our hands off the strap. So we'll encourage that left leg into the body a bit here. And really activate that left leg. Let's flex the foot. Let's press out through the heel, press out through the back of the knee. Feel your leg active, engaged, energized. Left foot floats to the left. Bring that into that inner leg stretch. Try to feel nice and grounded here in the right side and the left side. We don't want that right side to rise up too much. Back to center, realign. Right leg can straighten out. Let's take our twist. And then our twist. So as we just talked about, we get that nice twist for our spine. We get into our IT band, into the waist. And this one is also very important for the internal organs. We give them a nice little twist as well, and also beneficial for the digestive system. So giving our digestive system a nice twist too. And we're going to release that one. So let's bring ourselves back on up to center. Strap, we can set that right on off to the side of the mat. So let's take our feet this time. So we're going to take a happy baby stretch. So typically on happy baby, your arms are going to be on the insides of your legs. And either you flip your wrists to reach for the insides of your feet, or you keep your arms on the insides of the legs and then you reach for the outsides of your feet. We are going to do a little rock to the right and to the left. So maybe imagine that you could stomp your feet right up on the ceiling. So feet are nice and flexed. And maybe you could try to, in time, create this 90-degree angle in your ankle joint there. Let's take ourselves on up to seated. So we could do a little rock and roll on up through the spine. We'll come into seated and you can sit in any position that feels comfy. So we'll just be here for a moment. Let's grab onto that strap. We'll try a little stretch here. Now, if you have a long strap like I do, let's take that and cut it right in half. So we're just going to fold it. Hands are going to come a bit wider than your shoulders. Really ground into your sitting bones. Let's lengthen here. And we're going to take a shift to the left and the right. So we'll just do a bit of a wiggle here in the waist side to side. Now, as you're doing this is going to be a wonderful stretch for your spine, creating some lateral flexibility. Giving that lateral stretch through the three parts of our spine. We can get into our shoulders here a bit as well. Take an opportunity to pause, release your hands to the right, and try to roll the right shoulder under, left shoulder open, letting the heart shine up to the sky with the breath. Bring yourself back onto the center. Nice full breath here to lengthen. Let's take our hands to the other side. And back through the center. Let's release that strap on down to the side of the mat. And we're going to float into a table position from here. So as you come into table, you may want to grab your blanket to pad your knees a bit here. Bring your knees in line with your hips and take your wrists in line with your shoulders. Now really fan out the fingers wide, press into your index finger and your thumb. Let's bring our knees together here. Try to glue the insides of your legs together. Try to keep your hips and your shoulders nice and still. And we're just going to begin to take our toes up towards our glutes. Now you're going to relax your foot down. Let's take our feet on up and lower. And let's go a few more times here. Good. Now again, let's try to keep our hips and our shoulders nice and still. We are going to take our feet off to the right. And we'll come back on through to center. Bring your feet to the right. Back to center. 3 more times here. Realign, glue those insides of legs together, shoulders and hips stay nice and still. Let's take our feet. We're going to sweep them off towards the left this time. And realign. Feet to the left. And reset. Good. Let's take a minute here. We'll do a nice little reset back to center. Core engages. Let's zip the insides of the legs together. And now we're going to work with our hips. So we want to keep our shoulders nice and still. Hips are going to drop to the right. So really try to engage your core here. Try to press nice and firmly into that left hand so that the hands stay nice and stable. Float yourself back to center. Hips drop to your left. Again, press extra firm into that right hand. Back to center. And let's bring it side to side here. Back onto the center. Let's take our knees a little wider here and child's pose on exhale. Let's take a resting pose. Either your knees are together, that's going to stretch out your low back. Maybe a hip stretch here, big toes to touch, knees apart. Let's flip those wrists up so that the tops of the hands are touching the mat. Hands are in an expression of receiving. And just letting yourself melt here. Maybe doing a bit of a scan of your body, noticing where you're holding on to tension and then letting that go with the exhale. Let's take ourselves back on up to a neutral table position. Full breath here. Let's bring it to a down dog on exhale. Toes curl under, hips to the sky. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Shake it out a little bit in down dog. So it may feel nice to bend one knee and to bend the other knee. Maybe relax your head yes and relax your head no. As you find stillness, let's bring it on up to standing. Toes to the hands, forward fold. Now shaking it out here in your forward fold as well. Bend one knee and bend the other knee. Let's try to relax the head yes and relax the head no. Stillness, hands to the right, side stretch. Ground evenly through both of your feet, inside and outside of each foot. Back to center to fold and hands to the other side. Back through to center to a forward fold. Let's bring our hands to the shins. Take this time to lift the spine and lengthen the spine. Fold yourself down. Let's bring it on up. We're going to stand for a mountain and hands to the heart as you exhale. Grab onto your chair. Take your chair to the top of your yoga mat. And let's have our seat turned away from us. So we'll just be able to access the back of the chair for a bit of support there. Fantastic. Let's take our feet in line with our hips. Right foot takes a nice big step back. Let's try out a runner's lunge. And from here, we are going to begin to bend and straighten the front leg. Now, as you bend into your left knee, let's make sure that our knee and our ankle are stacked. So we want them in the same line. We don't want our knee to come too far forward, but puts a little bit too much pressure on the knee joint. Not so good for the knee. So just allow for that space, allow for that alignment. Let's take an opportunity to straighten the front leg and give yourself a moment just to kind of fold and hang here. See if you're holding tension in the neck. See if you can let that tension go with the exhale. Left knee will bend. Let's take our left hand to the sky. We'll try a variation of a runner's twist. Feel your shoulders stacking and opening. So we're going to feel our shoulders in one line, wrists in one line, one long line, fingertips to fingertips. Hand releases down. Let's take our right foot to meet left. Coming back to stand, left foot floats back. Runner's lunge. Begin to bend and straighten your front leg. As you're flowing through this, really try to activate your left leg. So we want to press nice and firmly through the heel and through the back of the knee. Straighten your front leg. Let's fold it over. Now, if you wanted to change up the stretch in your body, you could gently encourage your left hip forward a little bit and feel your right hip pull back slightly. Right knee bends, right hand rises, twist. And then as you're twisting, maybe gaze off your right shoulder and just notice if that helps you move a little deeper into your spinal twist. Let's float ourselves back to center. We're going to take that left foot to right, back on through to standing. Right foot takes a nice float back, runner's lunge, also a version of crescent warrior. Now, as you align here in crescent, option to hold it here. If you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit, maybe a little bend, deeper bend, and maybe that knee taps down. I'm going to bring it back on and up and float it down. Let's go 5 more times here. Good. Now let's take our right foot to left, back on through the standing mountain. Left foot takes that float back. Runner's lunge, crescent, sometimes referred to as high lunge pose. Let's take it down for 7 total. Back on through to crescent, left foot to right. Let's come on up to stand. And from here, take our chair. We're going to flip that around so that the seat is facing us. Now, I would love to do a little bit of strengthening for those shoulders and those arms today. Let's grab onto our weights. We'll set our weights right onto our seats so that they're there for us when we need it. You can clear off the yoga mat if you need to, if your towel or your blanket's there. Now we'll take some time to square our body up to our chair. Take your hands on up. Inhale, nice full breath. Let's come on down to a fold on the exhale. Now grabbing onto your weights, let's take our right foot back and we're going to try a warrior 1 pose. So warrior 1 as you rise. Right heel is grounded down. So press nice and firm into your right heel. Press into the outer edge of your right foot and give yourself a calf stretch. Give yourself a hamstring stretch here. Let's try some bicep curls. We're just going to take those weights right to our shoulders. Relax them down. Floating up. Good. Let's go 9 more times here. Excellent. Let's gently relax those hands down. Take a nice full breath. Let's open to warrior 2. So in this one, we'll have our front heel in line with our back arch. Let your shoulders be right over your hips. Now in this one, let's take arms into 90-degree angle. We're going to try to hug those arms into the sides of the body, and then we're just going to float our hands out to the sides of the room, and then back to center. Wonderful. Weight that's in that front hand. Let's set it down onto our seat. Reverse warrior, peaceful warrior 2 pose. Nice deep bend in your left knee. Let's feel that left hand reach up and reach back. You can feel the palm face down. Breathe so deeply here. Really feel this expansion in the ribs and in the side of your body. Core engages. Let's try out lateral angle, maybe extended lateral angle. So maybe arm onto your leg. It can feel nice to bring your hand onto the seat. And if you wanted to take this even further, hand comes down to the yoga mat, maybe onto your blocks. Let's try a little strengthening here in the right. So we're going to take our weight to our shoulder. You're going to press it right on up to the sky. Release it down. Rise with the breath. And release. Now let's bring it back on up. We'll try reverse triangle from here. So we'll just straighten out that front leg. Left palm faces up, float it back. So very similar to that reverse warrior two pose, but a little bit more passive because the front leg is straight, but wonderful stretch for your spine. Let's bring it on up to center. Hips go back, hands reach and stretch forward. Let's lower that hand down right onto the seat for triangle. Of course, if you want a little more, hand right onto the leg. Now let's take the palm of that right hand, face it forward. Try to keep your arms straight. We're going to take that weight in line with our shoulder. Let it run along your body. Rise on up. Let's move with the breath here. As you release that hand, let's set that weight down onto the seat. Core engages. Let's bring it on up. Warrior two pose. Virabhadrasana 3. Windmill the hands down. Let's bring it into a runner's lunge. Float yourself into plank from here. So really try to press your chair straight down. We don't want to press our chair away from us. We don't want it to slide off the mat. So really press your chair down. Let's gently lower the hips down. Open the chest and the heart for an upward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Let's walk our toes to the hands. We're going to bring it forward into a forward fold. Now, as we come into our fold, let's grab onto our weights. Left foot takes that nice big step back. Core engages as you rise on up. Let's take warrior one pose. Now, as you take warrior one, try to create a little sensation of squaring your hips and your shoulders forward. We are going to let our palms face forward. Arms are going to reach up and overhead. Pull down. Let's work with a 90-degree angle here. Rise on up. Maybe those weights come to touch. We're going to float it down and rise. Good. Let's relax those hands down. Take a nice full breath in. We're going to open into warrior two pose from here. Readjust if needed. Let's try to relax our arms along our body. We're going to take a shoulder shrug. So take your shoulders up to your ears, tense, 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 and let your shoulders go. Shoulders come up, find that tension. Let it go. And let's go 4 more times here. Good. And we're going to release that one. Arms out into a T position. We're going to float those wrists in line with shoulders. Relax them down. Rising up. And 4 more times here. Weight in the front hand. Let's set that one down. Core engages, rise on up, reverse warrior two pose, peaceful warrior two. So we have all of these little muscles in between the ribs, giving them a wonderful stretch as you take the side stretch, as you breathe so deeply. Coming on down, lateral angle. So arm on your leg, maybe hand to the chair. Now this is where we're going to take our weight to our shoulder. We're going to press it right on up. We're going to do 12 total. Core engages. Let's bring it on up. Oh, warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Front hand up and back. A reverse triangle stretch. That nice lateral stretch on the side of the body. Coming on up, let's bring our hips back. Hand reaches, stretches forward. Almost imagine that you could reach over a table or maybe an island in a kitchen. Once you can't reach any further, let's bring our hand down, and you can always take that hand down to the ground if you wanted. Left palm, let's face that forward. Try to keep your arms straight. We're going to take that hand in line with our shoulder. Float it down. Good. Let's sweep that weight right down onto the seat. Core engages. Bring it on up. Warrior two pose. Windmill the hands down. Let's bring it to runner's lunge. Float yourself into high push-up. Right foot to left foot. Create that nice long line that flows from your heels to the crown of the head. Hips gently soften down. Heart open. Let's take that up dog. Hips to the sky. Let's bring it through to our downward facing dog. Now in down dog, let's shake it out a little bit here. So it may feel nice to bend one knee and bend the other knee. Maybe shake out your head yes, shake out your head no. As you find stillness, toes to the chair, let's bring it forward into a fold. Weights, let's set those right down onto the ground. Coming back into your fold, let's lower the stomach. We're going to lift up the heart. Coming on up to stand, let's try out a mountain. Hands at the heart, exhale. Great job. Let's grab onto that strap. We'll try a couple of shoulder stretches with our strap. So as we have our strap, I'd love to work with a pose called King Dancer. So it's very similar to Dancer, but we get a little different stretch, for different muscles. So very beneficial pose. What we'll do is we'll just create a loop with our strap. Sometimes I find that it's the grip and the shift of the wrist that kind of messes people up a little bit on this one. So what we're going to do is just have the strap in your hand and just hold your hand, your palms facing up. Now we're going to just take our foot, our right foot, and you're just going to take the top of your foot and have the top of your foot touching the strap. Now here's where we're just kind of doing a little rotation in our wrists. We're going to bring our hand up and overhead, and then the other hand will meet it. Now let's try to walk our hands down the strap. As you do that, I'll kind of go from the side so you can see a little bit. So you're going to walk your hands down the strap, and then you are going to try to kick your foot back, and then also feel that foot kicking up as well. And if you want to intensify the stretch, walk your hands down that strap a bit more. Give yourself a little bit more stretch here. And this one brings so many benefits. It's great for strengthening your standing leg. So all of those muscles through your foot, through the ankle, through the knee. So good for strengthening your quad, hip flexor, psoas. And then we get this back bend in the three parts of our back, and we get a shoulder stretch, wrist stretch. So many benefits on that one. Let's come on out. We're going to try it on the other side. Maybe a little easier, maybe a bit more challenging. So again, you can have your palm facing up. You're going to hold onto your strap. You're going to bring your foot into the strap, and then you're just going to do that nice little rotation in your wrist. And then we're going to come on forward. Now, elbows might try to come out to the sides of the room. Try to wrap them in a tad towards one another. Maybe imagine that you could squeeze a beach ball between your elbows. And really try to create that sensation of kicking the foot back and up. So you want to get that back bend through the three parts of the back. And make sure that you're breathing. I know when we're trying to concentrate, it's so easy to hold the breath. So try to breathe as deeply and fully as you can. Now let's come on out of that one. We're going to do a reset on our shoulders. We'll try a shoulder floss. This one, we're going to want that strap nice and long. Feet are right in line with your hips. Take your hands out nice and wide. Bring your hands up and overhead, and then we're going to begin to drop the strap down. Now, if this is very intense for you, you may want to stop right here. But if it's feeling okay, you may want to lower all the way down into it. Rising up, grounding into your feet, and then lifting up and overhead. We're just going to go forward and back here. To make this one easier, you just won't move back quite as far, and you'll also create more distance between the hands. To make it more challenging, hands will walk in towards one another, and then you'll lower the arms all the way back so that you can get that nice full rotation in the shoulders. So this one is good for your shoulders, your arms, good for getting into the rotator cuffs, creating a bit more mobility there. It's also very beneficial if you find that you're sitting a lot through the day. You might be rounding, and this is a nice exercise for really opening up the collarbones and opening up where the heart is and lengthening those muscles in the front of the body and trying to strengthen the muscles in the back of the body. Good, let's let that one go. Strap, we can send that right down to the ground. Hands onto the shoulders. Let's bring those elbows forward. We'll take them up, back, and down. Full breath in. And out. One more time. And release. Let's bring it down onto our seated position here. We'll come down onto the sitting bones. And for this one, let's try to take those legs out as wide as possible. So you're just going to take those feet out nice and wide. You can always inch your feet back to give yourself more stretch. You can also kind of pick up those legs and scoot them back. We are going to bring our chair in. Try to feel that your spine is straight. You can even have a tiny little arch here in the low back. We just don't want to be rounded too much here. Now, one option will be to just kind of relax, fold yourself down, rest on the seat. If you are interested in a more active stretch, begin to press your chair away from you. So as you press your chair away from you, you're going to feel those front legs of the chair lifting up. Probably feeling a good stretch in the inner legs. Maybe take an opportunity here to close your eyes. Try to allow for yourself to relax more and more into the stretch. Unwinding the pose, let's begin to release. And from here, we will find our way down onto our backs. So if you'd like to take your chair right to the bottom of the yoga mat, we'll use that in just a moment. And you'll want to try to feel that the 4 legs of the chair are supported on the yoga mat. Knees can come to the chest as you find your way onto your back. Let's bring our knees away from one another. So we'll have one hand on one knee, one hand on the other knee. We're going to take our knees out nice and wide, and then we're going to circle and sweep them in. Knees are going to come on out to the sides of the room. Find that nice big circle. And back to center. And let's go 2 more times here, full circle. And reverse, let's begin to circle in the other direction here. Letting that one go. And coming into some relaxation time. So we'll make our way into Shavasana. Now, as we take our resting pose, feel free to let your body relax here along the mat. And if you would like to use your chair, you can do that. You'll just begin to link your lower legs right up onto that chair for a bit of support. Arms can run along your body. Maybe let your palms face up to gently open your shoulders. Take some time here to close the eyes and to connect with yourself. Taking a moment to deepen the breath and maybe wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. Let's come on to the side. We can take a fetal position here. Maybe create a little pillow with the lower arm, gently support and just feel your body taking the shape of the pose. Let's bring it into seated. And as you come into seated, hands come to the heart space. Let's bring it into prayer, Anjali Mudra. Ending practice with gratitude, thinking of something in your life that you are truly grateful for. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you're feeling more relaxed and at ease. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a wonderful day today.